What's up guys, welcome to another video. This is part 2 of yesterday's crafting video. So I crafted a bunch of runes, and so this video I'm going to upgrade all of them, alright? So I'm going to upgrade them to +9 and then figure out whether I'm keeping them or not. So let's start with this one. I may not upgrade all of them to +9, I'll probably figure it out by +6 or +9, but usually I'll upgrade it to +12, that way it's ready for rune removal. But because of time issues, I'll probably just leave it at +9 because it takes too long to get to +12. This one went into flat defense, so now I no longer want this, right? If I'm giving up like a star quality, so dropping from 6 star to 5 star, I'm already losing quite a lot of HP, right? So I can't really afford to waste a roll on flat stat. I really need double roll in speed, or like whatever substat I'm going for to make it worthwhile. So that one I just sold. This one, again, and this is very unfortunate because I really need slot 6 runes, but I can't really make use of such a low speed roll there. Alright, so this is the last violent rune that I had. Hopefully it goes into triple speed, but I would be okay with crit rate if it's a high roll. Because this could be like a decent Varad rune if I get crit rate. No, it goes into flat. This can still be a 14 speed defense rune, so I'll go one more time. If I get a roll of 5 speed, I'll keep. Anything else, I will sell. Like even a 4 roll, not good enough. And this is like the only real reason I'm gonna keep going is because of the violent rune. Violent runes are very hard to, to get a good. Well, I find it very hard to get a very good violent rune, especially because there's so many units that want to use it. Okay, very unfortunate. That was minimum crit roll, so that's no longer any use. Okay, so I think I crafted some will runes. Let's check those. All right, here we go. This one, obviously I want crit rate and crit damage. Mostly crit rate, that way it'll be a very nice beast monk rune or some kind of bruiser unit would make use of it. I can always enchant speed onto it as well, so alright, that's a minimum crit rate roll, but at least it's crit rate. So I think we just keep going. So now the max is 22 crit rate, which is pretty good if you can get it, right? I don't want accuracy though, and unfortunately I went into accuracy. I think maybe I jinxed myself, but it is worth going for the 16 crit rate, so I'll go to +9 here. I'm hoping it doesn't go 111 because that would be very awkward. I'll probably still keep it just because it's a slot 6. As I said, I'm missing a lot of slot 6, and I feel it's probably because the accuracy and resist take up, there's like 2 possible runes in slot 6 that I'll sell most of the time, so it dilutes the number of slot 6s you can get. Whereas on slot 2, like you're sharing it with speed roll, and that's like pretty much the only other main stat. As predicted, it went 111, but I guess I'll still keep it. But as I was saying, yeah, slot 2 only has like speed and then the rest of like the usual main stats. And in slot 4, you've only got you got crit rate and crit damage, right? So it's much easier to get slot 2 and 4, but harder to get slot 6 because it's diluted with like lesser like shitty stats, or at least like lesser used. You can still use them, but it's very hard to use them. Alright, so I got a speed roll here. It's like a medium roll, like 2 medium rolls here for a 5 star, which is basically the equivalent of like the lowest roll on a 6 star. So I guess that's acceptable. I can still get 18 speed. Alright, that was a max roll, so now it's still worth going into. And yeah, pretty much I'm hoping for another speed roll. Otherwise, it's probably not going to be good enough. If it had like HP or something, then I might, be likely to keep it. But This kind of rune, it's only really useful if it's triple speed. I guess accuracy. I guess you could make a argument to use accuracy, but I don't feel that's good enough for my purposes. I think if you're lacking will runes, you would still keep that, but I'm not lacking them that badly, so I'll sell that one. Alright, this one again is gonna be the same idea as the previous rune. It's like triple speed roll or bust, and pretty much I'm looking for max rolls because that way, if I get max rolls into this, it will be a 18 speed rune, and that would be good. Unfortunately, I went to crit damage, and the other stats don't really work well with like a triple crit damage roll. So to me, that's no longer worth rolling into. Okay, got these two here. This one is like a YOLO crit rate rune. Pretty much, you just want crit rate or like multiple HP rolls would be okay too. The reason why multiple HP rolls would be good is to use on things like Rune or any sort of tanky unit that doesn't care about speed that much. Unfortunately, I went to crit damage, but there are still 3 possible rolls, so it can still be okay. I mean, crit damage is not the worst, at least it's useful. Whereas if it went to flat HP, that would be like it basically loses like a quality. So like it sort of drops down from like being an orange rune to a purple rune because you just wasted 1 roll. And I got now there's 2 max rolls on HP, so that's pretty nice. So this is worth going to +9 and see how it turns out there. Not a crit damage roll. It's not the worst, but it's also not amazing. I'll keep it for now. I'll probably see how it goes to +12 later on, but I will do that off video because I feel that. But basically, if it goes into flat HP, I'll sell it. If it goes into any of the other stats, it's probably still useful. So I think that's like decent at the moment. Alright, and again this one, because it's a 5-star, you really need multiple rolls into like the one stat to make it more in line with like a average 6-star rune, right? So here I'm hoping for speed. Unfortunately it went to flat. This can still be a 20 speed roll, so I'll do one more upgrade and then evaluate from there. HP or accuracy, sorry, flat HP or accuracy would make it a sell. Defense on speed, maybe capable, mostly speed, but unfortunately went into accuracy, so I'm gonna sell this one. Alright, so we also crafted some Swift runes. We got some like pretty good ones from memory. So we start with this one. This one is like, it's gonna be a good rune regardless of where the substats go, as long as it's not like minimum rolls. I guess even with minimum rolls, you probably still keep it, but it'll be harder to use, obviously. So that was a max crit rate roll. So that was very good start. 11% crit rates, respectable. It's decently usable, especially on things like a raid unit. It doesn't really need as much average crit rate because you're using crit rate lead, right? Okay, so that was a medium roll on crit rate. So now it's a pretty good rune. So I'm going to see how the +9 turns out, because then I can evaluate what I need for the last slot and also like what I could enchant it with, right? So basically just hoping for any stat that is useful, something like HP, speed, or actually maybe HP, speed, or defense would be pretty dope. That way, at least the last slot, I can always enchant it if it's a shitty roll. But pretty much main stat was already covered, right? And as far as the DPS stats are concerned, it's pretty much crit rate, crit damage, speed, and that means you have one more like in an ideal rune, right? If you had the choice of what you had in that rune, you could get like so you have 3 DPS ones apart from the main stat, So you get one more extra substat that could be, you know, that you could get, and you probably go for like HP or something like that. Bit unfortunate you went flat attack. Still not the worst, because you can still get like a bit of damage out of it. It's very minor, but it's better than like defense or like flat defense or something. But this one I'll still keep rolling. I mean, I'm gonna keep it regardless. It's got good crit rate. It's already got crit damage on it, and it's a main stat slot 6. So that one's not too shabby. Alright, this one, I feel this one's only gonna be useful if I get crit rate twice. You could argue about 16% attack percent if it's like, you know, basically a double max roll. But it's very hard to ruin a unit without like a low crit rate roll, right? So pretty much you're just hoping that it'll go double crit rate. Because even 9%, it's very hard to put it onto a unit and get max crit rate, unless it was like slot 4 crit rate already. But if you're running slot 4 crit rate, you're looking for crit damage substat, so like a double crit damage roll. So here, pretty much, it's 15 crit rate or bust. Oh no, why you do this to me? Alright, I'll go into +9. I was afraid of that because now it's a max attack roll, which is, you know, like super efficient, right? Even though the crit rate is pretty bad, like 9% is pretty low. So we'll see how it turns out +9. If it gives me a useful stat, I'll keep it for sure. If it's a flat stat, I'd be pretty tempted to sell it. But if you don't have a lot of if you don't have a lot of runes, then you would keep it. Oh, it did roll into something useful. Okay, now it's worth like seeing whether someone will use it. Because the worst case scenario, you know, in the 4th slot, I can always enchant speed. It is worth keeping speed enchants just for that reason, right? For like DPS runes. A lot of people will think like you wouldn't really want to keep speed because like a speed enchant, right, when you're doing raids, because like theoretically Swift runes supposed to have speed on it already. But DPS runes, you will keep DPS runes even if they don't have a speed roll on it, right? So it's like a rune like those two that I just showed you. They're like crit damage, crit rate runes with an attack substat as well, right? An additional one. So that's worth keeping for broken sets, or even like eventually if you have enough of these, you can just make a swift attacker set. Okay, this one no longer any good, because this one, it's very hard to use attack percent in slot 4, so you're pretty much only going for speed here. So I'll just sell that one, especially because it's a 5-star. Again here, this one is, I think double speed roll is not good enough. So all 3 of these rolls have to go into into speed to make it worth keeping. So I can tell from the first upgrade. 17 speed. I mean, I guess I don't have that many main slot runes with like high speed, so I will go for it. But this one will have to be max roll. Otherwise, it's gonna get sold. Okay, alright. I wish that would happen earlier, that way I can just sell it quickly, but it was worth a shot at the 15 roll, the 17 roll. If it was on like a odd slot, so 1, 3 or 5, I would have sold it already. But main slots are harder to get, so you're generally a bit more lenient on those. I'll go one more here. Similar idea as like the previous one. Since like the first roll was wasted already. Alright, resist roll. So that's 2 rolls wasted. So the max that this can get is 14 speed. So that's no longer particularly good, especially because there's not even a crit rate substat on it as well, because it's a crit damage rune. Alright, so this is another like DPS based rune. So here, again, you're hoping for double crit rate, but even double crit damage is not the worst, because sometimes you might use crit rate slot 4 when you can't, get enough crit rate on your unit. So as long as it's a double roll into like one of the stats, then it's a good rune. So here I'm now hoping for crit rate again, although another crit damage roll wouldn't be the worst if it's like max roll. Just keep in mind, slot 3. You can't get attack percent, so here you can only get speed as like one of the other like damage dealing substats. So therefore, the 4th best substat to get would be HP. So that was like almost this is almost max crit damage, like double roll. 14 would be the max. So this is a pretty decent rune for blue rune. Blue runes can turn out okay. Even though there's only like very medium rolls on crit rate, it's reasonable to find someone that might be able to use it. Alright, so this is a max roll on defense. That's not bad. This could be like a good raid unit because it's got defense, crit damage, crit rate for DPS. And the last slot, worst case scenario, I can enchant speed on it if I don't roll speed naturally. So yeah, that one's worth keeping. So let me check the other runes I have. Okay, here we go. This is similar to the other slot 4 runes. I'm hoping for 18 speed. And here I'm less forgiving because it's slot 1. They're a lot easier to obtain. And I think I have like a decent amount of slot 1 speed runes, so that one no longer useful for me. Alright, this one can be a 20 speed rune, so this is better than the previous one. Even if it goes multiple HP, I probably wouldn't keep it, because it probably won't be high enough. If it started out as a max roll and I max roll HP again, then I would probably keep it. Oh, alright. I mean, 15 speed, 12 HP wouldn't be the worst. So I'll leave it. I'll give it one more shot at +6. I feel like I should talk about max rolls more often because it seems like it happens when I don't really want it to happen. Alright, flat HP, easy sell then. Alright, oh, here we go, legend. Alright, this rune will be good regardless, as long as I don't roll into flat HP, right? Anything else would be good. Like any combination. Alright, so crit rate, not bad. Alright, so this could be at worst some sort of DPS rune. Still hoping for speed, obviously. Pretty much speed and crit rate is what you want here. Even like double roll in each would make it a pretty like nice balanced rune. Oh no, flat HP. I'll still give it another go because it is a 6-star and it's got pretty good stats. Or correct stats. If it's another flat HP roll, then I don't know. I'm not sure if I will keep rolling. I might, but then I would only really keep it if it rolled max crit rate after that. But yeah, we'll see at +9. It's very unfortunate that HP got rolled into, because then otherwise I can enchant, like HP percent or crit damage. Alright, speed roll. It is a minimum roll, but it's okay. These rolls are pretty bad, but there is still a little bit of potential at +12, so I'll keep that for later and see how it turns out. It's very unexciting though. Very unfortunate. Alright, here it's 16 speed or bust. Even then, it's not that amazing really actually. I'm not sure why I really kept it, but I guess 16, you can use it on like a fair few some units that don't really necessarily need like the best runes. it's usable, but it was resist, so let's sell that one. I don't think did I get any. Oh yeah, I got some of these. HP percent. This one would be like a great Beast Monk rune if Beast Monks were like okay with using broken sets. Typically you wouldn't want to use one because like ideally they want to be on violent will or violent something. But the stats here are very efficient, right? So you should be able to find something at least that might use the broken set. So I think it's worth seeing how it turns out. I mean, even the flats, like the 4 stat is a flat stat, it's not the worst. I shouldn't have talked about it, I jinxed myself. And it's not the worst because, like, at least, like, if you're running a HP unit, you can always enchant the flat HP and give it a bit more HP. It like maximizes the amount of HP that this particular rune can give it. Because otherwise the max is always going to be 63%. But I didn't want an upgrade to go into it. I really wanted speed or crit rate. So yeah, I'll see how it goes at +9. It's like one more shot at redemption. I mean, even the crit damage roll was a bit underwhelming. At least it was like a medium to high roll. It wasn't like super low. But the speed is pretty low at the moment. But keep in mind that, like, you know, like the slot 2 rune, you can only ever improve the amount of HP on it with flat HP. So if you get a tanky base set, like, right, for things like okay, this is when it's gonna be a sell. Then that was very disappointing. But for things like Jultan, Rina, Hodam, like those sort of units that just want to be as tanky as possible, like flat HP is actually you know, the only way for that rune to increase in raw HP for that particular unit. So don't completely discount it, but yeah, it depends on what the other stats are as well. So like this one will be a pretty good Rina rune too, because it's got defense already. I can enchant resist onto it over maybe attack percent or speed. Preferably attack percent, of course, although now I just gotta roll into it. I feel like this is happening a lot. I'm jinxing myself each time the upgrade goes up. Anyway, this rune at least is very efficient. Worst case scenario, it could be a wall boss rune if I can get more of the percentage stats or speed. And it's actually, like, it's worth keeping those really efficient runes for wall boss eventually, because like you probably, like, people will eventually start to care about wall boss to try to get, like, climb higher in ranks. So that was a max speed roll, so that's worth keeping. Alright, it's worth keeping already, so I'm gonna stop it, like stop upgrading here. So yeah, worst case scenario, it's a wall boss rune. Alright, so this is another of those HP with speed slot 2s. I had a thought that maybe units like Delphi, who don't really need to be on violent, but they also when they're on swift runes, like, they don't need to be super fast either. So they could give up slot 2 swift if they have a HP rune with like some decent speed substats. So if this one, say for example, goes into speed again, then it could be a good Delphi rune if I have good substats everywhere else, because she's already benefiting from the swift set, and it's very easy to get her to like around 200 speed already, and yeah, therefore you don't necessarily need to have slot 2 speed on that unit. So I'll keep this, even though the roll is like pretty disappointing. It's like 2 min rolls on speed, but I'll see how my units, or whether any units want to use it later on. Alright, so before I go to the fight and before I forget, there's one more rune I found earlier today. This rune could be an upgrade for my Shaolin. Alright, so I'm looking for double crit rate roll. My Shaolin one has like 14 crit rate on her slot 6, and I think I had to enchant HP onto her. So I need another crit rate roll here, and she has like 2 flat stats on her on that rune, so it's very inefficient. So this is like a chance to upgrade that rune. So I need one more crit rate roll, then I'll have like a basic amount of resist on it, and I'm hoping for non-flat stats in the other 2 slots. Alright, so it'll be a 1 crit rate decrease on my Xiaolin, but I think she might be like slightly over the amount of crit rate I need her to be at, so this is worth trying and seeing how it turns out. And I guess, as I said, slot 6 is worth keeping just due to the rarity. Also, I don't have a lot of vampire runes, and I want like more vampire sets available, so worth upgrading these. Because also, I don't know if anyone really took notice. Oh, that's a shame. But I'll still upgrade this and see how it goes. But I don't know if anyone noticed, but or if you check Reddit, but we've got the new balancing patch out. Well, at least the notes for it. So excuse me. Some of the changes, I feel like vampire might be useful for certain units, like Leica. Not that I have a Leica, but just in general, there's like Leica and also Rakan. They seem like they could benefit from vampire, just due to the way that they changed some of their skills. So worth keeping like vampire runes, and like vampire runes are also good for raids anyway. So always good to have a few sets of those. Alright, so this one rolled crit damage, which is exactly what I wanted. I want another crit damage roll. That way I can use this with like crit rate slot 4 if I have to. And also because attacking can already be grinded, whereas crit damage can't. So ideally you want rolls in crit damage, and therefore you can just grind the attack. Unfortunately it went into attack, but it's usable. I don't have a lot of fight runes, so I'm a bit more forgiving on these. So I'll see how it turns out at +9 as well. Now this rune just needs like a crit rate roll, and it'll be decently useful on some units. Hopefully a speed roll as well. But most importantly is crit, right? Any DPS rune will pretty much need crit rate to help, make it useful. Alright, max HP roll is not the worst. I just need crit rate on the last roll, but I can always enchant it. So that's a pretty good turnout for a blue rune. I'll keep that one. Alright, similar one to that previous one, except it's crit rate now. So I want double roll in either one of them. I don't really want like 1-1, but if it's max rolls, I can't complain. But ideally, it's a lot easier to rune units with double rolls into one stat. Alright, so this is like a very medium crit rate rune at the moment. 2 times like 5 rolls. So yeah, it's okay, but I need another crit rate roll hopefully. Oh, okay, at least it was crit rate. So 14 is not the worst. It's a shame because it's a minimum roll, but it's usable. It's a lot easier to use than having 10 crit rate and like 14 crit damage. So now it's you just want speed for 1 slot, and then the other substat can be either attack or HP. Even defense is not too bad, because you can at least use that on a raid unit. And I'm trying to convert more of my raid units to like multiple fight sets as well. So I need some decent quality fight runes to replace those with. Because obviously my other sets, I've been getting a lot more of those, right? Alright, defense roll, that's good. So now I can enchant either HP or speed on it, and it'll be a good raid unit, like a raid rune. But as I said, I'm trying to convert more of the the units to like double fight revenge. That's probably the ideal build in my opinion for a lot of units that don't need like any other particular set. Especially because there's 6 units in your raid, right? So that just makes like aura runes even more efficient than they normally would be, right? Because 6 units are benefiting from your fight rune, and therefore it's like having an extra 42% attack percent spread out across all your units, right? Alright, speed roll, I'm okay with that. It's basically two minimum rolls for like a 6-star equivalent, but it's got defense on it, so I might be able to use it if it's a 13 speed at least. And also I was saying before, the reason why it's hard to convert them to multiple fight is because I've been farming the other runes, like the other type of runes, a lot more, right? Like than fight runes. Fight runes are very new, so I don't have like that many of them, and therefore I don't have that many chances to roll good quality ones. But this crafting session was pretty good. I got quite a few things out of it, so hopefully there's enough to convert more units to it. Especially, I also want to convert some of my DB10 units to having fight as well, because they don't really need to have swift as such. Like, it only benefits themselves. But because I'm running 5 DPS in my speed DB10 team, for example, it's better that all of them are getting 7% attack percent as opposed to like one unit getting, you know, like 25% speed from swift or something. Alright, so that one was a defense roll. So this is not too bad for like a raid unit again, even though it's a 5-star, so we can keep that. Oh, this is a pretty strong rune. Bit unfortunate that it's crit damage instead of crit rate, but it's got really nice tanky stats. It's got HP, speed, and resist, so it's all good. I'm hoping for those, right? Okay, resist, not the worst. It's a low roll, unfortunately. You don't want to have 2 rolls into resist and have 9%. That's like, so you have a 4 and a 5 roll. That's very, very poor. But I still have another couple of upgrades to go, so it can still be a good rune. Right, HP, that's not too bad. So definitely keep going. So yeah, this is again probably another raid rune. I guess I could probably use like one of the other ones for like DB10 or something, or even the new raids. The new raids would benefit from fight as well, since they're like the raid base, since you're using 6 units in those. So here we can get 17 speed. That would be pretty nice. But we'll see. Oh, crit damage. It's a shame. I'll still keep it because it's a 6-star. I got one more roll, so I still have some potential. It's very bad though. Like, it's 2 minimum rolls in crit damage and basically 2 minimum rolls in resist. So it's still better than what stuff that I have. So I'll just keep it for now. Okay, let me check the other ones. Alright, here we go. This one is like YOLO crit rate. I guess resist wouldn't be the worst for a raid unit, but I can maybe afford 1 roll into resist. I think I need at least 2 rolls into crit rate. Okay, that's a max roll in crit rate. That's really good start. So if it gets at least 16 crit rate, that would be like not too hard. Like, it's like useful to fill in to reach your crit rate amount. I think on average I would aim for like at least 15 crit rate each slot where possible, right? That way unfortunate the resist roll here, but I can still get 16 crit rate, so yeah. But if you average out all the runes that you use, right, so you have 6 slots that can be crit rate. If you get 15 on each, it's pretty easy to get, like, you know, near max. double resist. I think this rune is going to be too hard to use on any unit because the crit rate's too low, so I'm just going to sell this one. Oh no. This one, okay. So this one, it's basically triple roll in speed or crit rate, either one. Oh, I guess like double roll in speed would be okay, because if it's max roll, it will be 15, and that's not too bad. Unfortunately, maybe I shouldn't have said that. Should not have said that, but I'll give it one more shot. But yeah, if you multiply 15 by 6, you get 90%, right? Oh no, 15 by 6. Yeah, 90%, and therefore, with your base crit rate of 15, you'll have max crit rate. So that's why I aim for, on average, about 15 crit rate. A little bit lower is okay, because you can make up for it on other slots, right? So like 14 is like acceptable. 13 is okay for like main slots, because it's harder to get main slots. But even slots, I will try to aim for. Odd slots, I will aim for 15 or higher. Even slots, you can like be a bit more forgiving. Alright, so here double roll and speed would be nice. A max resist roll could be useful if I get max roll and speed as well. But hopefully it's speed. Alright, it's speed, but it's a minimum roll as usual. But we'll still go for it. So 15, as I said, is like acceptable, right? And I guess for raid units, you can be even more forgiving since you have crit rate leader. But I like to have, for a standard unit, to have max crit on its own. I did say if it was a max resist roll, it would be pretty good, wouldn't it? So unfortunate there. But I guess it is keepable because it's a max resist roll. If I get HP on it, it's I guess I can always enchant HP, but it'll be okay. I could maybe find someone to use as a filler, maybe in raids. But I need the HP roll because I don't have any enchant at the moment. But I guess I can still keep it because 16 resist is pretty good on raid units. Things like Colleen that just need speed, resist, HP. Especially because it's slot 1, I can't get attack percent on this anyway. Alright, I got HP. Okay, now it's capable. I can use that on I'm sure I can use that on something. Alright, this rune started off really well. Max rolls on both speed and HP. So let's see how this turns out. It's very hard for this rune to go bad unless it's like double min roll, I guess. Oh wait, I shouldn't say that. Alright, so that's a good HP roll, that's alright. Now I just want I would be fine with a max roll of either one of these, right? It will be a good rune. Either way. Because even if it goes into HP again, it could be like a frontline rune. Okay, double roll HP, yeah, that's fine, because it's pretty decent rolls actually. So I give it, I'll take it to +9, and it's got max roll of 6 at least, like 1 roll and 6. So it's like decently efficient. Like they both can be grinded as well. So now I'm hoping for like resist and I guess accuracy. Oops, I accidentally stopped the 10 times power up. Flat HP would be okay, I guess, but I don't really want it. I want resist and accuracy. This will be like a good raid unit then, or good for a raid unit. Attack percent wouldn't be the worst as well, just because it helps increase damage too. So something like a Lisa could use like a rune like that, because her base attack is very high. And even giving, okay, accuracy, that's acceptable. So last roll, I can enchant resist onto it. Worst case scenario, right? Either that or attack percent would be decent. Depends on which unit I give it to. Alright, so keep that. This one's got innate crit, which is a bit unfortunate, but if I'm going for speed anyway, it doesn't matter that badly. Because if I'm getting rolls into speed, I won't be getting rolls into crit rate anyway. So having the extra bonus there is not too bad. Attack percent, not the worst, but not great either. So I'll keep rolling it and see how it goes, because it's still got good attacker stats, right? I mean, it could potentially be a bomber rune if I get another attack. I don't know how I feel about that, but it is now like a decent rune for a bomber, like as an offset, or even like potentially running double fight on bombers could, I don't know, maybe be okay. I don't know if it will be good enough, but yeah, it's so yeah, now it's really turned into like a rune for bombers, so I'll keep it around. I might be able to use it somewhere. This one is like YOLO crit rate, I guess. It's not that good because there's no like defense on it either, but I guess I can enchant that as long as it doesn't go into like, say, flat attack. Okay, resist, not the worst. Like resist, crit damage, crit rate. It's not that bad for a raid unit, right? As long as I enchant defense onto it as well. So it would be good for like a raid unit that wants to add a bit of damage. So if you've been looking at my rune videos, you probably would have noticed that I've been putting like attack percent onto like my DS and stuff, and crit rate. This one went to flat attack, so now it's a sell. So that's two rolls that were into crit rate. That's like the main reason I was gonna sell that one. Alright, this one is another like potential raid unit rune, but ideally it would go into double crit. That way I can use it on any attacker, or pretty much. Again, I'll need probably need speed enchants unless say I roll speed onto it. But yeah, it has some potential here. It's another crit rate roll and it'd be pretty nice. I have like a decent amount of fight runes then, if I can get a few of these slot threes. Alright, we got the like benchmark 15 crit rate, so now it's a good rune. So now I can get speed, crit damage is what I'm aiming for, right? For the last two slots. Worst case scenario, give me HP or defense, that way I can use it in raids. But ideally crit damage and speed. Well, speed most likely. Okay, max crit damage roll, perfect. So one more roll. If I get speed, that means I can like take off the resist and give it HP or something. But yeah, that's a nice rune to keep around. Okay, this one I kept because all three stats are really good for raids, right? So as long as these rolls are high rolls, this would be a good rune. And like, yeah, actually, I'm noticing a lot of people are converting units to fight where possible. Not everyone's really farming for it, but like I know a couple people in my guild who are also farming fight runes, and it definitely has been improving a lot of people's raids. So don't discount them. If you can farm S in light and fire dungeon, definitely, you know, try to farm some as well. I basically try to farm for fight materials when like I can't check my phone that often. So if I'm at home, I'll still farm giants, dragons, etc. But if I'm like out or something, like, you know, out, I've gone out somewhere and I can't check my phone that often, then I'll just do raids because they take longer. Alright, so this one's a good tanky raid unit, right? You can do it's got defense, HP, and a little bit of speed, so it's capable. Oh, here's a spicy rune. Max speed, max crit rate, and it's also got a bonus HP. Resist is not the worst, but I want speed and crit rate, right? Any combination of speed and crit rate would be nice. Alright, good start. Min roll, but that's okay. I'm okay with that. Because the thing with legend runes, and that what annoys me about legend runes is, it's harder to get the stats you want because there's only a 25% chance to get it, as opposed to a purple rune where it's 33% and etc. Right? Blue rune is like 50%. Oh, max speed. This is working out pretty well. This is pretty much auto keep. I'm gonna keep it regardless. I don't care where the next two upgrades go into. Ideally, speed and crit rate will make it an amazing rune. But I'm not gonna cry if it goes into the other ones. Like, it's not facepalm. Alright, but we'll stop after the third upgrade. Come on, speed. 18 speed would be amazing. Or 16 crit rate. 15 crit rate. Okay, that's fine. It's good. Alright, so I got one more roll. Wherever you can see here, wherever it goes, it's gonna be good. There's already 2 rolls into speed and 3 rolls into crit rate. So that's already a very efficient rune. Alright, so very pleased with that. It's like probably the best rune I'm gonna get today. Or that I'm gonna upgrade. Alright, so here again I want double crit rate or double HP. Ideally double crit rate. We'll see on the third upgrade how it turns. Okay, it's medium HP. Not the worst, not the worst. It's capable, I guess. But ideally I want to get 20% crit rate. 20% HP would be pretty good. Just saying. And 12 crit rate would be okay too. Alright, now it's a bit awkward. 10 crit rate. Hard to put this on a unit. I think it's worth going one more time to +9 and seeing how like what I get. If it's like a flat stat, I'll probably sell it. But if it's something useful, I'll keep it. And here I'm hoping for probably speed or defense. Crit damage would be okay, but because there's like double HP roll already. Accuracy. I feel that's not good enough. I needed either speed or defense to make it good, so I'm just gonna sell this. Okay, I believe this is the last rune, so I mean this video's already gone for quite a while, so I'll leave it after this rune. This one, another YOLO one. YOLO speed, pretty much. No real reason for me to keep it if it goes into the other two. Alright, that's a decent start. 2 min rolls, but I'll take it if the next 2 go into speed. That's fine. It'll be fine. I feel like I said the word speed way too much in this video, but pretty much all the runes I kept were like, oh, that's a max roll here. Yeah, pretty much all the runes I got here, I kept them because of the speed. So, but I feel you probably figured by now, speed makes your units work. Like, you know, makes your units so much stronger. It's like very universal stat. Like you can never go wrong when you move more often than an opponent. And it makes it easy to sync your units as well. Oh, speed, accuracy. Okay, I'm gonna keep this because it's got 14 speed. It's not the worst. Bit unfortunate on the accuracy roll. I would have even taken a min roll on speed. But I guess this could be useful on some units, maybe like a galleon if I decide to put it on fight. I'm not sure, but I'll see how that turns out later. Alright, so I believe that's all the runes I had. Just let me quickly double check if I farmed anything else today. I don't think I did though. Nope, that's pretty much it. So I'm going to leave it here. I'm just going to do the wish real quick. But thanks guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed this. It is a very long video because of the upgrades. But I'll see you guys in the next video, which will be a probably one of the other rifts. Alright. So I'll see you guys then. Bye bye.